Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. Is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. These two teams matching up for the second time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the visiting Saints who got the victory then, so they'll look for the season sweep here in New Orleans. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. Sheds off the tackle. The 30. 10. 5. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Saints on just 2 plays have taken the lead. What's good on the extra point? And that makes the score 7-0.
Falcons, nothing.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now a give running right is Love. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. This defense for the Saints, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Got a man open. It's K.J. Hill. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They go play action here on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll look to throw here. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 21.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Back to throw now on first down. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because
and he's taken down here by the Saints. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking...
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys will take over at their own... With every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 83 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Well, here's a throw off the scramble, and that's complete out left.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Back to throw here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And it'll be a turnover on downs. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And that is incomplete. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he's got some space here. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
7 yards, the pickup there.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3. At the 38-yard line.
2nd and 3. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 19. Shotgun handoff now for Love. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
He'll drop to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door. Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
15 more yards. That's another Saints first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set them back on second.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
You know, following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back.
And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
On 2nd down, it's Love. Nifty move. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll drop the throw.
Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
On 1st down, here's Love. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. It'll be Love to try and get the first. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, these two teams, they met in New Orleans earlier in the year with the Saints coming out on top. So they'll be looking for the win here in New Orleans to complete the season sweep.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him, let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
A give. This is Kamara. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
115 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit him over the top, unsuccessfully.
And he will find Ridley on the left side. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground. Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a fourth down.
It's fourth down.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Richie Grant. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Both teams going through their final halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football. And to bring you the second half from the Superdome, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Running to start the drive is Love. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. James has got it. Complete. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Back to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Love. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case, because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line.
He's coming. We got double up.
A 10th carry for Kamara. Breaks a tackle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 125 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Brings up third down.
They'll look to throw. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
That'll go as a 42-yard punt, and they'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game
are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. Third down, he'll drop to throw.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Returnable here from the 38.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards.
And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. They're going to look to throw.
Oh, he's going to go for it all.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. With touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
They'll run again with Love on 1st down. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd down, Love.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Got this complete to the tight end Pitts.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll try the left side here with Love. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Going for the deep ball. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Elsewhere, a 3rd quarter score. And the Cardinals have scored. That one's been interesting. They retake the lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Flush to his right. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. From the right hash, and this one just a chip in. The kick by Lutz is good. And their lead will swell up to 28. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, They want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling.
He's got a man. Complete. 30. 20. And he will be marked down inside of New Orleans 10. It's a big play there for Atlanta. The defense, they weren't fooled on that post route. They just couldn't make the play.
And the offense definitely tried to fool them because you saw the other route combinations, didn't you? Anything that they were running trying to draw attention away from the deep part of the field, but still had it covered, yet they were able to come up with a nice play.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On second down now, it's Love. And he pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
And, Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. A gigantic sack on 3rd and goal. A loss of 12. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Saints will have the football back. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
That's complete to Troutman, right side.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now Kamara. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
I can't believe they even let you play.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And it was a game where they were off and running in the 1st quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for New Orleans, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.